Hello, it's Uncommon Fossil, and today, happy to present a Klawf deck, a fun deck, I will say. It's seeing a decent amount of play on Limitless and such. I think at the Latin America International, it actually was featured on stream and won its game. Look, the win rate for the deck is at 45%, so it's not top of the meta, but it definitely can win games, and it's a lot of fun here. Two attackers in the deck, Klawf, which is what the deck is named for, is a basic single prize attacker, and with Unhinged Scissors, it does 30 plus 160 more if it has effective by special condition. We have multiple ways to get that up, and I haven't had problems getting special conditions happening, and attack cost is 2 colors energy, so 1 DTE. In fact, we just play 4 DTE, that's it. No energy recovery, so you have those, but we also have a free attacker too. So you're doing 190 with special condition, but minus the 20 for the DTE. So you're doing 170 on a single prizer, basic 1 energy attachment. Very, very nice numbers. Of course, we can't recover the energy, so we can't rely on Klawf alone, right? So the other attacker is Hisuian Electrode V. I have 2 copies, some lists play 3. You can make your choice there. And we attack for free with this. We use Tantrum Blast for no energy. Does 100 damage for each special condition affecting this Pokemon. We have 2 special conditions we can make happen. The first, which is in the Pokemon, is Brute Bonnet, because it has the Toxic Powder ability. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon has an Ancient Booster Energy Capsule attached, you may make both active Pokemon poison. So we poison ourselves and our opponents, so we're damaging ourselves in the process. But as it does 10 damage between each turn, but that's 100 damage on the Electrode. That's pretty easy to set up, and also gives the boost for the Klawf. Since we're poisoning, we do play, and that's so 2 copies of Brute Bonnet. We do play a Radiant Hisuian Sneasler because of the Poison Peak ability. During Pokemon Checkup, put 2 more damage counters on your opponent's poison Pokemon. So it's also important that it says your opponents is not just all Pokemon, so you don't put more damage counters on your own Pokemon, because we don't want that. We just want the special condition. The damage is actually a negative, right? So we don't want to accelerate our own knockouts. But then instead of 10 between a turn, it puts 30 between each turn, and it does help get the numbers. It's definitely a nice boost, and I have gotten KOs because of this boost in damage. In terms of engines here with the Pokemon, a 2-2 Bibarel line, just very good there, right? We don't play Skwovet because we don't really have the bench space for it between the Brute Bonnet and the Sneasler, and a Klawf or 2, Electrode or 2, Bidoof, right? Bibarel, right? And then we play Squawkabilly, which is really good because we need to get set up, especially turn 1. This is a good deck if it goes second. It's very happy, and you can attack meaningfully turn 1 most of the time, right? Squawk and Seize during your first turn. You may discard a card from hand. Your entire hand, and draw 6 cards. Now, obviously, 4 special energy is all we have in the deck. We can't recover. You got to be careful if you have special energies and you can't get them attached. You might think twice there. So as I said, 4 DTEs there, and then the trainers, a couple different ones that we don't see a lot. So I'll give those a little more attention. 1 Hisuian Heavy Ball. We just need to get the basic Pokemon out of the prizes. So a good card there, right? Look at the face down prize cards, reveal a basic Pokemon, put it into your hand, put the Hisuian Heavy Ball back into the prizes, so you still have the same number of prizes, and shuffle them so you don't know where they are. 2 Switch Carts, because we have the Klawf and the Electrode. They're getting damaged, so we switch out the basics, and it heals 30, so that's nice there. Obviously, and when it goes to the bench, the special conditions go away too, so we can hopefully make it a little tankier, especially the Electrode, because it gives up 2 prizes. We play 1 copy of Grant. I haven't gotten a lot of use of that. If you want to cut this for another card, it's not a bad thing, but Grant's what it does is your fighting Pokemon attacks do 30 more damage. I have considered playing it. There's been times it was close, but haven't had to yet. So that extra 30, it helps with the Klawf, not with the Electrode, obviously, because that's grass. So that 30 can be useful if you don't need a supporter. The nice thing with Grant, which is partly why you only play 1 copy, during a turn, if this Grant is in your discard pile, you may discard 2 cards except any Grant from your hand. If you do, put this Grant into your hand. So in other words, Grant's in the discard pile, you discard 2 cards from your hand, put Grant back in hand, and then you can play it down immediately. So once you get it, you don't have to have it in your hand, you can have it in your discard pile to access it too. So it's easier to get. We play 3 town stores because we do need tools. Tools are important here, so I do like that in the deck. 3 copies of that, right? You search your deck once per turn for a tool card if you want. The other stadium, we'll jump to that, is Collapsed Stadium. Very good here. Get rid of that Squawkabilly EX is probably the biggest thing, right? Fill up your bench with 5, place Collapsed Stadium, you discard down, you go down to 4 on bench, so you discard a card, a Pokemon if you have a full bench. So nice there for us, and obviously you want to think through whether it helps your opponent or hurts your opponent too with that decision making. Obviously, if you didn't have Squawkabilly, but you have your Hisuian Electrode V with damage on it, you could get rid of that with Collapsed Stadium too if it's on the bench. To Bruno, I like this in single prize attacking decks. You shuffle your hand into your deck, you draw 4 cards. If any of your Pokemon were knocked out during your opponent's last turn, draw to 7 cards instead. Now, the fact that it says during your opponent's last turn is important in this deck because you may be poisoning yourself, you may be burning yourself, and your Pokemon might get knocked out between turns because of the poison or burn. If you're knocked out between turns, it doesn't trigger Bruno drawing 7 cards, so just be aware of that. The tools we have, the first tool here is Forest Seal Stone, 2 copies of that, right? It has the Star Alchemy V-Star Power, which we don't have a V-Star Pokemon, but we have the Hisuian Electrode V. During your turn, you search your deck for any 1 card. Very nice to have. You kind of want to get it in play, and then don't use it until you need it, right? It's nice to have. Grab that spicy curry or that DTE, whatever you need that 1 turn. The other tool, since I'm hitting the tools, is Ancient Booster Energy Capsule. Wordy name there. But what it does is your ancient Pokemon, this card's attached to, get 6 plus 60 HP, recovers from all special conditions, can't be affected by special conditions. Those things don't particularly matter, but it goes on to the Brute Bonnet. Because Toxic Powder, you can make both Pokemon poisoned, but only if you have the Ancient Booster Energy Capsule attached. So that's why I have 3 copies of that. That's really important. 1 copy of Battle VIP Pass. Right, the odds of having it in your starting hand aren't great, but we do play for Arven and such, so we have a decent chance. If we go second, which is what we want to do, there's a decent chance we can access that 1 Battle VIP Pass if we want to. 2 Boss's Order, obviously just a really good card there. 4 Iono, right? At times I figure we'll fall behind, so Iono is just a nice option. And plus you see fresh 6 cards early in the game. I like it for that too. As I said, 4 Arven, search for an item and a tool. Tools are becoming a bigger factor in the game, so Arven is definitely on the rise. 1 Super Rod, right? Shuffling combination up to 3 of Pokemon and or basic energy. No basic energies, but can put some of those Pokemon back in play, especially because we only play 2 copies of the Hisuian Electrode V, right? So we want to be able to get that back in particular, or our Radiant Hisuian Sneasler, we might want that or something else too, right? So that's just 1 copy. There's nice. 1 Energy Loto. We don't play it. It doesn't go in a ton of decks, but it is useful. You look at the top 7 cards in your deck, you can reveal an energy you find there, put it into your hand. So it kind of gives us a 5th energy in terms of the odds of drawing into energy, right? If you draw an Energy Loto, then you can play that and you have a decent chance of hitting your energy. It's not guaranteed. Also, because it's an item card, we can get this with Arven, right? Which is nice too. So Arven, get the Energy Loto, and then hopefully you hit your energy off that. So just another way to increase the odds of getting the energy. We only have 4 energies besides not the concern of running out of energies. We got to get them into hand. That's harder with this deck. So Energy Loto helps there. 1 Collapsed Stadium, like I said, and then 4 Ultra Ball. We do play the evolution of the Bibarel, so just Nest Ball in itself is not adequate. So Ultra Ball, just good, right? Gets us any Pokemon we want. And just some more Pokemon draw, even for the basics, is good. So that's the 60. I've been having some success with it, and let's see what we can get done on the ladder. All right, let's see what we can do with the deck here. Hopefully get a nice game to show things off. Played the deck a little bit. Haven't played it a lot yet. But it's worked pretty well. I gotta say, it's worked better than I thought it would. It's a deck. It's kind of in the fun category, right? It's not as strong a deck as some, I don't think, but it certainly will. It obviously can win. It's seeing a decent amount of play. Let's put him in the active. Potentially he could attack. All right, set. Okay, so it was. I think it was a Zoroark deck. I was very quick there. I should have paid more attention to it. I think I saw Zoroark, so that may make things tricky. But you know, all right, that's not bad. Yep, Zoroark. So I go second. I can attack for no energy. I need to get a special condition on my Pokemon though. But I do have Forest Seal Stone, so I can take the knockout, right? So that's good. I will, right? It does 100 damage for each special condition on this Pokemon for no energy. So I can attack for 0 right now. I will attach Forest Seal Stone. I will... Do I want to bench another one? I'm not going to bench another one now. I'm not sure. I only have 2. He's not getting knocked out, I'm pretty certain. Let's take a look at the prizes here. Get a Klawf down. That's good. All right, got it. One of my energies. That's important. I only have 4 in total. Klawf. All right, what else do I want? I want to kind of thin a little bit, right? I could. I might as well Squawk and Seize, right? Now that I think about it, why don't I Squawk and Seize? Bench a Brute Bonnet, bench the Klawf. Might as well get something else down or something else to discard, right? That's another way to look at it too. So I will, let's see, I guess I have all the pieces I need, right? What do I want to get down to? I want to Electrode. I'll toss down another Klawf. I'm not certain about that. I still have my tool, so I can take the knockout, but just kind of keep setting up. All right, so Spicy Curry. I might as well save the Spicy Curry. Might as well make myself poisoned. I do have Collapsed Stadium. I kind of like that too, don't I? So now I'm doing 100, and I can do 200 for no energy. So I might as well get rid of my Squawkabilly too, right? Might as well just be greedy and make the magic happen. And I will just attack. Boom, take the knockout. They are weak to me too, so it does the 200 in fact instead of the 100, so they can't attack next turn. I have Boss, that's nice too. So if they only get one Zorua down, I can take that out and just keep the pressure on, keep them from attacking, right? The animation sequence is a little weird. My stadium expands while the Collapsed Stadium is still actually shown as sitting there. So I got 2 Zoruas down, so that makes a lot of sense. I guess I'll just take out the engine piece, right? Probably. This isn't a bad set of cards. I guess I want to just get some more cards, though, right? Let me just, yeah, I think... Obviously, Spicy Curry is nice if I get knocked out and such. Energy Loto. Okay, well, that's a solid card, too. I'd like to get an energy. All right, good. So the Energy Loto comes through. It's really, special energy. It's a nice little card to get that. And I'll just attack. Keep my bench spot open. So I might get knocked out this next turn, which then makes things tricky. But I do have, they're going to one-shot my Klawf very easily. I'm up by 2 prizes, though, so they're going to take 2 prizes, tie me up. I'm assuming, look, they've lost their engine, so that's, since they had 2 Zoruas down, I didn't want, if they only had 1, Boss would have been the play there, since they had 2 down, taking out the Ralt so they can't evolve to Curlia, I think puts them in a tougher spot. Hopefully I can take a knockout this turn, and they get to concede. They just didn't have the pieces to get things going, probably, so... yeah, so the deck, hey, attacking turn 1 for up to 200 damage is a nice thing. I did 200 with weakness, but even without weakness, I could have actually done 200 that turn. So my opponent didn't set up, but the deck did do its thing very, very nicely. All right, hopefully we can get another game that shows this deck off. Last game, things went very nicely for me. Okay, so I'll go second, because I can attack potentially for 200 damage turn one, or, yeah. So put the Klawf. Okay, well, this is very nice. So now I can do 170, right? 160, 190, minus 20. So I do 170 this turn with what I have in hand. They can't disrupt me. I have Bidoof. I probably Squawk and Seize. I can do 30 more. I can play Grant this turn if I want. I can play Grant. I can actually discard Grant, recover it. All right. Hone Edge. Okay. Let's see what all this deck is. All right, so I'm actually not... Obviously, it's going to evolve. I'm not fully up on all these decks, I got to say. So not exactly sure what's going to happen. It always puts things in a tricky spot. So reversal. I'm going to activate the reversal, right? That part of the game is like pretty much guaranteed to happen. All right, this is actually... Do I want to Squawk and Seize? That's one of my questions, right? Let's see. Do I have Squawkabilly? I do not have Squawkabilly. Okay, that changes things. So I think I want to... I do have Brute Bonnet. I'll grab the Electrode, though, because I have my Forest Seal Stone, right? Make the attachment. Save the Grant. I might want that. So at this point, I attack for 10. That's not good. But this will, I burn myself, and I do 170 now. So we'll see what they have, right? They have reversal energy. They have their basic down with reversal energy. Do they have the ability to... So there's the Squawkabilly, a turn too late. Thank you very much. Flip coin. So I'm still burned, which is actually good if I'm not knocked out, right? The danger with the burn is poison stays, and it only does 10 per turn, which is better too, both less damage, and it doesn't go away. Burn flips between every turn, so there's 2 coin flips. All right, so what's he do here? Does 80, but I should... Okay. That's not bad. I'll advance the Electrode. I just need to get a special condition on me, and I have the knockout. So that's very nice there for sure. They take the knockout. I get Bruno. Okay, path to the peak, but that's not an ability. It's my attack. So that's okie dokie, right? Oh, they don't. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Get knocked out. Oh, so that's unfortunate for my Bruno, right? Bruno only draws 4 now instead of the 7. So they actually made my life more difficult there. Okay. So I'll take out. And I should get something else into play, right? Now the problem right now is... I'll dump down a Brute Bonnet because right now I think I need 2 special conditions to take the knockout, right? I think I do. So I want to burn him. I do have my tool, so that's good. So right now he's doing 70, which is not enough. So I will Bruno. Just get 4 because I was knocked out between turns. Maybe I want to... All right, I'm going to use Bibarel. I'm going to get rid of these 2. Heavy Ball. Get a Bibarel down. Attach the DTE and draw 5 cards. And then I still have my tool, right? So just kind of thinking through what gives me the best odds. Obviously, I'd like to not use the Forest Seal Stone if I can. But we'll obviously do that if need be. So I'm already burned. Well, that's nice. So I will grab my Ancient Booster Capsule, get that on Brute Bonnet. This is nice. I have Spicy Curry. I've got the pieces I want here. So I had to bump Path to... No, this is actually... No, it's not a Rule Box Pokemon. Sorry, it's not a Radiant. And I will... At this, do I need the extra damage of the Sneasler? I don't know that I do. So do 170. Okay. So there, take another prize. All right, just working through the single prize stuff is a bit tricky. I just got to stay ahead of things. So 30. I can heal that 30 off, right? Because I heal 40. So the burn goes away, which could be a negative, but, you know, it is what it is. Although I can poison them, right? So that does help me. I do have Arven as well. I have an Iono. And I have the Sneasler. So actually the Sneasler may do what I need also, right? Because he was, what was the Double Blade? 90? I think I do, right now, I do. If they evolve, I do 80, I think, but they'll be poisoned. Okay, so what did they grab? Evolution Machine, okay. Oh, so they're going to evolve themselves. No, oh, okay. All right. Making things a little interesting here. So let's see. Okay, so they don't. So that's very nice there. So I do 90 right now. I do 70. Oh, that's right. I do 70. All right, so I need to... Let me poison my opponent. So they are poisoned. So I do 70 and 80 with the poison. So I knock them out with that there. Do I want to... Might as well grab something from my deck, right? What do I want to get down? Do I want another Sneasler? I think I kind of like the Sneasler this game, right? In which case, I'll grab... I mean, I like the... Sorry, the Electrode. I think I do. So let me toss him down. Electrode, and I'll attach my tool to him, just in case, you know, that way, just getting things going. And I do 70. But there's poison, and the poison's magnified, does 30, so boom, takes the knockout between turns, so they can't use a Raihan or something. Just like I couldn't use Bruno, it takes out that possibility. So for them, so that is a plus there. So Rod, I have the Spicy Curry, so I can take the, you know, I can do the two, or okay, okay, it's 100. So let's see. So he resisted by 30. That's why. So I can do 100. I can do 200. Oh no, I lost the Spicy Curry, which it is what it is. All right, boss's orders. That's nice too. So I can gust up the attacker, which I think I want to do. Right. That's good. Gift energy there, but that's not going to help you. I'm just gusting up the man on the bench, taking the knockout, and yeah, I'll let this guy keep getting damage. Might as well, right? So he does. Boom. Oh, I'm getting ahead of myself. I was supposed to Bibarel there. I knew that, and then I kind of forgot. Obviously, this game is going very well for me, right? They've taken one prize only, and just, you know, they knocked out a Klawf. And, you know, very, very nice. I think I played 2. Man, if he's just doing that so they don't lose the game, I guess. Obviously, you know, I don't hit the bench. Okay, got another boss. That hit my other boss. So if they managed to, excuse me. Sorry, just getting a little frog in the throat there for whatever reason. So I have the boss, so I probably take out who they play on the bench, right? They play a Hone Edge, and I just gust him up, right? Assuming it's used only one, and then I'm a turn away from game. So they might, once I play this boss down, they may just concede too, because it's really, really bad for them. Really bad for them. So I'll do that. I will draw my cards. Just, this game is pretty much unwinnable for them. So I'll just do the attack. I could attach retreat, but there's only 4 energies in the deck, so I don't think I want to be getting rid of energies. At one point, I was considering Roseanne's backup for the deck. I put that in initially. Most decks don't play it, some do. And I'm like, no, you just got, with a deck like this, you got to go for it. Plus, you have the Electrode that attacks for free. And obviously, a grass attacker is nice now, too. Grass and fighting are, in terms of hitting for weakness, are decent types to be playing. Right now I don't have the knockout. Well, I can retreat, though. I can attach retreat this turn. So, let's think. I do 100 to the active, and I poison 3. So I actually will knock out the Bibarel in between turns is what will happen, right? I just will poison and attack. I think, and I could Ultra Ball, use Super Rod. I could do those type of things too. So I do 100 here, right? Always, since this tells me what I got, I do 100 here. So let me make both guys poisoned here. So that's going to take it up to 130. So I'm just going to attack. It should give me game, right? If I got things calculated correctly, 130. Yep. Otherwise, there were plays, right? I could have thinned the deck and barreled and such, and I still had my Forest Seal Stone. So anyway, 2 games there. I think that will be the video. Look, my opponents struggled. Now part of it is obviously. First, my deck did its thing. It set up very quickly and started taking knockouts right away, and that's what you want in a deck, right? That is what you want. So there's not even if my opponent struggled, my deck, the deck was very straightforward to play. I got to say, the deck's more straightforward to play than I thought it was going to be. It's obviously, look, my opponents weren't top decks and they struggled. I think that's probably fair. But it's it's got the pieces. Some of the builds play a 3rd Hisuian Electrode V. I don't own it, and I decided since I'd rather, as a budget player, I'd rather just not craft it and see if I'm okay with the 2. Look, that's a nice attacker though, so maybe it does want a 3rd copy. That definitely is a possibility. Anyway, a good deck, and obviously with the bossing and stuff, just made things difficult for my opponent to get going too in that last game. So it's not like all my opponent's struggles weren't just their bricking, it was this deck working to make the opponent's gameplay difficult. So anyway, deck worked really well, and it's a lot of fun to play a deck like this. You have a free attacker, no energy. I always love no energy attackers. If you've heard me, it's been a while, but I have been a big fan of Capsule. It's never been very good, but I've always tried to make that work as a free attacker. And Klawf, a single prizer that you want to damage yourself with a special condition, and you're doing big damage for 1 energy on a basic. Always a nice thing to have as well. So give the deck a try, have some fun. It is fun. The win rate on Limitless is like 45%, so don't expect it to be top of the meta, but is a fun deck, and you certainly can and will win games with it. Take care.